Welcome back to Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. I'm not in my normal location, sitting outside at the table there, because it's winter and it's cold and it's raining, even with a little bit of snow mixed in, but nothing sticking. So, anyway, it'll have to be here. So, this one is entitled Retail Ruined It For Me. 2 years ago or so, I graduated from high school and got a summer job working at a an electronics retailer called The Wiz, formerly known as Nobody Beats The Wiz. Now, this place was, I don't even know how to explain it. Poorly managed, and eventually they went bankrupt and ran out of money. And in fact, their accounts couldn't even cover my last paycheck. So that check bounced, and they had to pay not only the check, but the bounce fee as well. And yeah, that was really interesting how that worked out. Anyhow, when I was there, this was like a summer job, which turned into I was working there for quite a number of years, 4 or 5 years actually. And time just went on and went on. Now, when I started, I just said, let me just get an entry level position. I'm not going to be a stock boy or anything like that, but I'll be a cashier. And that's exactly what I did. And time went on, and I'm learning the ropes, and everything's good. And because I'm excellent at what I do, especially anything using a computer, which essentially the registers were. In fact, I think they were all like 386 machines. It was quite an interesting system, actually. It was like a 386 machine that output to something like a 9-inch white monochrome monitor. And one day I had noticed that one of the registers that happened to have a different monitor on it for whatever reason, the picture at one side started to like squish in a bit, and that stayed that way for a couple of weeks, and before you knew it, smoke started coming out of it. I wasn't there for that, but just to show you. And at the end of the night, now this is back in 1997, 98, somewhere in there, at night, the main headquarters, wherever that actually was, would call the store via dial-up modem and hit the server in the store, which would then poll each computer or each register that had been opened that day and send a report of all the transactions back to it. So it was an interesting system, and eventually the systems were replaced right around the year 2000, or maybe even 1999, because it was not Y2K compliant, or so they found. And they got this other system that was just awful. Absolutely awful. Everything that used to be, scan, beep, done, your total is such and such, became a 12-step process. You had to go into 3 different screens and log in again just to give somebody a return, and it was a mess. But I digress. With the old system, we were in a town on Long Island they called it Carl Place. Carl Place is on the outskirts of a town called Westbury, which is essentially where this was. It may be in Carl Place proper, but it's essentially Westbury. Now, we get people from all over. We get people from neighboring towns all the time, and sometimes they'd even come from farther towns, even though we had a number of different locations. But here's where it ruined me. My Achilles heel with the holidays is Christmas music. I cannot fucking stand it at all. After like 2 choruses of Let It Snow, I go fucking out of my mind. I go out of my mind, and I'm going to explain why. But did you ever notice in the song Let It Snow, we'll conspire by the fire? They're starting a conspiracy? Who the fuck invented this shit? The problem with Christmas music is there are a limited selection of songs. So you end up hearing the same songs over and over and over again. And for that reason is why my shoutcast plays songs on random, completely random. You could hear Billy Joel, followed by the Zombies, followed by Led Zeppelin, followed by Donna Summer. It's just a hodgepodge, gallimaufry of different songs. And it's all on total random, because I can't stand the same songs again and again and again and again. And I have enough songs that play for like, I think it's up to like a week and a half without my hearing the same song twice. So it's pretty rare I'll be hearing, hey, I just heard that song yesterday. You know, it can happen when it rolls over and it re-randomizes that I can hear a song or two that I had just heard, but you know, plus how long am I listening to it for? It's always playing in the background, yes, but you know, I'm sleeping for 8 hours or however long, and I'm out for X amount of hours, and I'm recording for X amount of hours, so there's only so many songs that I actually will hear throughout the day. Now in The Wiz, like I said, it was poorly managed and mismanaged and all kinds of other stuff. So what did they do for music in the store? No, they didn't have like a PA system overhead that they put, you know, canned music in from there. Nope. What we had was, in certain places, we had something like a bookshelf stereo system. This is one of them little compact jobbies that has like a cassette and a CD and a radio and a couple speakers, and that's it. So behind the register, here I am. This has to be Christmas season, the holiday season, we should say. So early December of 97, somewhere in there. And there's a bookshelf system back there. And we had, I think, about 3 CDs. Nobody was smart enough to put it on random. We didn't have a CD changer or anything. So it was the same CD with the same songs in the same order for 8 hours. Nobody even knew to put it on repeat. So eventually the music would stop, and then somebody would be like, oh, the music stopped, and hit play again. And then, oh, there's that CD again, the same one. Now, every now and again, I like to, you know, listen to an album in its entirety, but it's pretty rare I even get in the mood for that. So when you have the holiday season in Westbury, which is sort of like a melting pot community, in essence, that means there's nobody white there. They're all from different countries. So you have any derogatory term for any race that you can imagine in that town. And we had a lot of people from there. A lot of people from there. Well, what happens when these people who come to this country and aren't citizens and don't work and live off the government go and try to buy shit for the holidays? Their credit cards don't go through. So here I am, it's Christmas, and we have the same CD on. Track 3 was Alvin and the Chipmunks, All I Want for Christmas Are My 2 Front Teeth. I heard it 6 fucking times a day, along with the rest of it. And okay, yeah, you tune it out. No, it gets worse and worse and worse, because now they come to the register. The Spanish guy comes out, hey, I want to buy this BCR. BCR, not VCR. The BCRs are in the video department, just so you know. So he comes with a BCR, because these things were still being sold in the late 90s. You know, people were still buying them. So he comes there, and they weren't that cheap necessarily. $179, $249, depending on what model and what features. And they just introduced the jog shuttle dials, if anybody remembers those, where you could like fast forward by turning a dial back and forth and rewind and stuff. And theoretically, on the higher end ones, the further you turned it, the faster it would go. And then, you know, they introduced all these extra features, and DVD was just really starting to get a stronghold on the scene and stuff like that. And the damn fucking CD is playing, and now we go there and I say, okay, that comes to $186.34. Okay, he opens up his wallet and he whips out a credit card. In those days, we didn't have pin pads, so I would swipe it on the register, and nobody was concerned about people having skimmers or anything, because that wasn't really that commonplace. It happened, but it wasn't that commonplace that we hear about today. So basically what ended up happening was he would give me a credit card and I'd put that through and it would come up declined. So now one of two things would happen. He'd either say, oh, sorry, take the card back, and then he'd open up the wallet and he had the grandparents' wallet, the kind that has like the accordion style thing that unfolds and you have like pictures of the grandkids in there. Nope. Laden with credit cards. 12 fucking credit cards in this thing. Both sides. And starts handing me credit cards. Swipe, decline. Swipe, decline. Swipe, decline. Okay, I know I have money on this one. Swipe, declined. That can't be. I said, well, I can call the credit card issuing company if you want. Yeah, call them. Okay, I call. We had a phone right there, and I would dial the number. We had a list with all the numbers on it. I'd dial a number. Hi, I'm merchant 123456. Doing a transaction for Mr. Reyes, and it's for the amount of $183.64, whatever I said before, and it's coming up declined. Yes, actually, it is declined because there are not available funds on the card. Sometimes they would tell me how much they had on the card. So let's just say they had $35. I said, okay, can you approve a charge on this card for $35? And I would clear that with the customer, make sure it was okay with them. And they said, yeah, that's fine. And then they would pay the rest on another credit card where we go through 6 of them. And meanwhile, that fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks is fucking playing again. And I'm on hold with the credit card company. And not to mention, the line is 74 fucking people long. We had 3 registers open. This was not a high volume store. We had 3 registers open, but on either side of me were people in a dark blouse. And I would ring up, if I didn't get Mr. Reyes or anybody else like that, and people actually had money to pay for shit, I would ring up 3 people for every one they would do. So I was quick, I was speedy, I was efficient, and if somebody else with a dark blouse came, they would wait on the longer line. They didn't get any discount, but they would wait on the longer line for that. When people are there and there's a big crowd, they bring their kids with them. Especially these dark blouse people that don't even know how many kids they have and which ones are theirs. And the kids, they wouldn't watch the kids. And really, it was an interesting thing because they would sort of watch the kid, but today it's out of control because the parents are just on the damn smartphone and they're fucking around with that, not paying any fucking attention. The kid could run off and they go, oh no, where's Brianna? Or any of these other like porn star names they give to kids nowadays. Nevea. And the Alvin and the Chipmunks is playing again. And the kids start fucking screaming. Out of control. Wah! 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 Do they do anything? Here, come here. Let me give you a pacifier. Let me give you the... Wah! Wah! And it just goes on, screaming, crying kids all fucking day. 74 fucking people online. The dark blouses aren't doing shit. And Alvin and the Chipmunks is playing. And then Mr. Reyes comes up with a fucking 12 credit cards that none of them are fucking going through. I nearly lost my fucking mind. And God for fucking bid, they would come with a gift certificate. Holy shit. The gift certificates were a piece of paper. They weren't gift cards. They didn't have barcodes. None of that. They had the store number on them, and you would enter in the system and put the amount, and it would be printed on there, $25. Kind of like an Amazon gift card today where they print the amount on it, stuff like that. So it was kind of the same thing, but we didn't have barcodes or any way to actually track these things in any way. So what we had instead was when you'd ring it in the register would say, write this number on there. That way, when they bring in the gift certificate, they would hand it to me. Oh, okay, you got a gift certificate, no problem. You know, and then it was like 12 or 15 digits that you'd go to type in. But because it was handwritten, sometimes people's handwriting was messy and you couldn't read it. Other times it was 07, they put 70 and mix up all the numbers. Other times it would say it's already redeemed, which was a big no-no because we would collect them, so that means somebody in a dark blouse didn't. But the system knew, so they couldn't take that. And then you'd end up where the dark blouses are ringing up more people than I am. And then they would run fucking contests on top of that. Who could ring up the most customers? What did you win? They bought you soda, maybe. But hey, it was something. I was like 18, so yeah, free soda? Yeah, why not? So anyway, that would impede upon my time because I keep getting these people. And then they would put me on the damn register. This happened once. During the holidays, where, ready? The barcode scanner, we had the handheld kind. The barcode scanner didn't work. And the credit card swipe didn't work. So we had to type in, or I had to type in the UPC or the SKU number or what have you of each item. And then I would have to type in their damn credit card. And then if Mr. Reyes came up, oh my God, I was typing for hours. So obviously that didn't go so well that day. Plus, the contest would run for like a week. So if you weren't there at the busy times, you had no shot at winning it. You had no shot at winning it. So it was almost rigged, even though it wasn't. Oh, look, Shaniqua got a soda. Great, that should have been mine. So retail ruined it for me. And now I cannot listen to any Christmas music. The problem, like I said, one of the main problems is that there are such a limited amount of songs dedicated to this. Now, you know, I mean, that sort of is par for the course because Billy Joel made so many albums and you can listen to all his songs for like a day straight and not hear the same one, you know, especially if you take little breaks in between when the CD player would stop, you know, stuff like that. And it was awful. So you have a limited set, and then that was further limited. God forbid they would have a changer and maybe 3 or even 5 CDs on random everything, you know, instead of like play one disc in its entirety, then the next, then the next. Nope. It was the same CD all fucking day and the same limited selection of songs, and I was just going out of my mind. It was fucking torture. It was like Chinese water torture. You know, if you've ever seen that, a drop, another drop, another drop, and you're like, okay, I can deal with this, and then it just goes on and on and on to the point where you are literally being tortured because you just can't stand the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Later on, I became a salesman, and I went over to their home office department, as they called it, where they sold computers and the like. So over there, we had the same type of bookshelf system, which always was a customer return. So the speaker grills were ripped or something, you know. I mean, they worked, but they weren't great, you know. They didn't skip or anything stupid like that. I mean, then they would have actually replaced it with another broken D unit. But anyways, it did work. It did play. And I remember hearing Blonde Over Blue by Billy Joel many times in a day. And there they were actually a little smarter. They'd hit the repeat button on there. so you wouldn't have to mess with it. But there's blonde over blue again, blonde over blue again, blue over blonde now. You know, till you're blue in the face, literally. It was absolutely torture. So I always needed randomness in the music that I listened to. Now, when I went over to Tiny Middle after I was laid off, yes, laid off from the Wiz, because they were going out of business and went bankrupt and all that other great shit. So I got a job at Tiny Middle. So now we had the overhead thing. At the Wiz, we had an overhead for paging people. You know, video pickup on line 1. That's what the dark blouses would say. Line 1. Not line, line. Okay. Anyway, so we had the overhead paging system, but you know, we didn't have music through that. At Tiny Middle, we had the overhead paging, and it would play music, which was through some sort of satellite radio system. It wasn't Muzak proper, but it was some sort of satellite radio music, and they had different stations, although it was always on the same station. So in a week, you could start hearing the same song. You wouldn't hear it the same day, but the next day you might hear it. The same song again. So that got a little, and then the Christmas music came on. And because it's a satellite radio, they have a limited set of the very limited set of Christmas music that they would play. So you would start hearing the same songs over and over and over again. There's one, I don't know the name of the song, but it was something like Mecca Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. It's like a Hawaiian something. I don't know what it is, so I used the Mecca Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho just for funsies there. But whatever it is, like, you don't hear that song often. So if I go somewhere and there's a song like that that's on, oh shit! I haven't heard that in a long time. But then, Grandma got run over for a reindeer the 13,000th time this season. Oh my fucking God. It's just torture. So Let It Snow comes on, I go out of my mind. And that's why on Thanksgivmas, I had the headphones around my neck. Because I had them on most of the time because the goddamn parade was on. Now, as a kid, I enjoyed watching the Thanksgiving Day parade. We used to have Thanksgiving at my house, my parents' house back then, you know. So we used to have it on, and I would watch it in the morning, and then sometime 2, 3, 4 o'clock, whatever it was, the family would come over, and then we'd have, 20 some odd people over and do the whole Thanksgiving thing. And I was a young kid. I was like 5 or 6 years old. And look, there's Big Bird. Look, there's Cookie Monster. Look, there's Garfield. Look, there's this character. Look, there's that character. And I didn't know that later on that the Thanksgiving Day parade is not for Thanksgiving. It's for Christmas. The whole time. It's run by fucking Macy's. This is what retail thrives on. And the reason they put this damn parade on, and 90%, at least 90% of the people involved with this damn parade are not paid, they're volunteers. Okay? So, because God forbid, why shell out a few cents when you don't have to? So they do that, and now here's Santa! It's time to start shopping, everyone. And then this Black Friday bullshit that started back in, 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in there, where stores started opening up really, really, really early. Really early, and then the electronics boom. There was one year at Tiny Middle where the line, now this was a big store. I don't remember how many square feet. It was over 100,000 square feet, if I recall. This line wrapped around the entire building and then was going around for the second loop. started going around for the second loop. And we had the manager out there with a bullhorn and this and that, and they would hand out coupons that would give you, because they'd send the flyers out in the mail, and they'd say, this TV, only 25 available, first 25 customers only at this price. And you had to have this coupon to give to the cashier to get that price. Now, if you weren't one of the first 25, let's say the third guy in line did not want that TV and he wanted something else. I think it was like one coupon per customer or something. Well, then the 26th person has a shot at getting one of those TVs. Now, we didn't really have fist fights or brawls or anything like that. There were people online that would get heated and start yelling. We had an employee get pissed off and just run the fuck out screaming. You know, so that caused a nice ruckus one time. That was fun. Never saw him again. That was good. So we had that, and let's see what else went on. So the people would come in. Okay, once they would get through the door and they would run, I was over where the printers and the video cards and hard drives and all the components basically for a system, they called it peripherals, which nobody could pronounce. They'd say peripherals. Nobody could say peripherals, which those items are. Well, you know, a hard drive is sort of an internal thing. An external one would be a peripheral proper, but an internal one is sort of more of a component, but then again, it's then sort of a peripheral to the motherboard if you wanted to get technical. And you never wanted to get technical with the computer guys, because they knew better than you did. Anyways, so now I'd have a line 8 people deep. Hey, do you have this? Yes, right over here, sir. Here you are. Thank you. Have a good holiday. Oh, you want that? No problem. Right over here. Thank you. Got a question for you. Sure, what's up? Okay, the difference between DVD plus R and DVD minus R, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And then another guy would just run the fuck up in my face and say, yeah, hey, I need your help. I got a question for you. But the guy who was already there would say, hey, mister, I was online waiting. You cut in front of me. No, I was standing here the whole time. No, you weren't, you dick. I was here. I said, I'll tell you what. You two take it out in the parking lot and duke it out, and whoever wins comes back and I'll help them next. Or if they started being crybabies like that, I said, listen, folks, I reserve the right to walk off the floor and nobody gets any help, so get your ass in gear and get your shit together. Now, who's next? And the guy who would cut in line would, you know, put his head down and his tail between his legs and go ahead. Yeah, I'm looking for this flash drive. Yeah, sorry, we're all sold out. Motherfuckers. They were absolutely relentless. Relentless. I don't understand this holiday shopping bullshit. And especially, well, I'm not even going to get into Black Friday because that's just, I've had a rant video on that in the past. I'm not even going to get into that. But just this shopping bullshit where everybody has to buy something for everybody. You know where this came from? I did some research on this. Santa, there were I don't remember the story exactly, so please excuse me for getting this wrong. There was something like 3 women who were going to get married, and back in the day, they would pay a dowry before you would get married. And they didn't have the money. And Santa, jolly old Saint Nick, came by and he paid the dowry for these 3 women so they could get married. And suddenly that morphed into all of that. And then 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, people were running around with their damn credit cards trying to find their keys to get the fuck out to the store. Why? Because they didn't shop the entire time. And let's not forget that here I am working at Tiny Middle, and it's 11:30. And there were hordes of people coming in, hordes of fucking people coming in, looking to buy shit they didn't need, that they don't know how to set up or use. And nobody in their family is smart enough to figure it the fuck out. And I'm like, don't these people have jobs? It's a Monday. It's a Wednesday at 11 o'clock, 11:30. And there's a line of 8 fucking people deep. Why? Because everybody waits for the last minute. And I guarantee you that these same grown-ups that wait for the last minute to do their damn shopping are the same ones that yell at their kids and say, you mean you knew about this book report for 2 weeks and it's due tomorrow and here we are Sunday night at 7 o'clock and you're just starting it now? And they would scream at their kids and they wait till December fucking 24th to do their damn shopping. You ever go to the mall then? Holy living shit. Unbelievable. You know what I used to do? I would shop for shit in August. That's right, in August. Now, I'm the chosen one, so I didn't have to go shopping. But the girlfriend, and now wife, go figure, was not and celebrated Christmas, so I had to sort of get ingratiated with that, and I knew I would need to buy something. And one year I remember I had bought her a cordless telephone, 900 megahertz, Panasonic, and God only knows that. I bought it the whiz back in the late 90s. It is still in service today. Gone through a few batteries in its time. It's yellowed over the years because it was white, but it still works. Still works. And what did I do? I would go shopping in August. Sometimes we'd run a sale on something, $10 off. Oh, it's August. She could use a phone. I think I'm going to buy it. The $10 didn't matter because I got employee price on it anyway, which was just some random number they came out with. And it was luck that if it was on sale for lower than employee price, which would happen from time to time, you would just buy it as a regular customer and you would get the lowest price. So that was a benefit in that regard. Okay, so I would buy it in August. And people would say, oh, but there's sales in December, in January, there's sales. In November, December, don't you want to take advantage of the sales and get money off? I said, you know what? Keep your fucking $20. I'd rather sleep in. And what would happen? August, September, October, November, December. So that $20 that I didn't save, and there's no sales. It's not a sale. It never is. The shit's marked up out of control to start with. You're getting it for higher than cost price, so it's not a sale. You might be getting it less than regular retail, but even so, $10, $15, $20, $25, come on. Holy shit already, you know? And people would say, oh, but take advantage of the sales. I said, hey, look at it this way. Come January, I have no bills. And their face would go, holy shit, he's right. So, I have a big problem with this holiday shopping bullshit, all the traffic it creates, all the ruckus it creates. And the people, because at Tiny Middle, we had to straighten out the stores. People would come in, stick their arm in the aisle and go whoosh, squish everything together. So we would have to straighten all the shit up. And you know what they paid us? They paid us $4 an hour. Well below minimum wage of almost 15 here in New York now. But that was okay because we were on commission. But during that time we were straightening up, the store was closed. There was no commission for those hours. They'd pay you your $4, but as long as your commission would overtake what you would get paid minimum wage, they didn't have to pay you any more because it was like a conglomerate wage of your commission plus your hourly. And they'd pay you $4 an hour. So you had to sell shit to make money. You know, and if you were under that, they would talk to you. They wouldn't fire you for it, but they would definitely talk to you and say, listen, we had to supplement your check, and that's money you're not really entitled to. And that would happen at the Wiz from time to time because sales were pretty poor there, but anyway, I digress. So the whole retail shit and buying shit, nowadays, with this Black Friday, stores open at midnight. Stores open at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving. Fuck it all. It's called online shopping. Do it and be done. Do it and be done. The only thing you have to really watch out for are porch pirates. That's it. But now everybody's got their fucking Ring doorbell. You know, so there's always a camera seeing what people are doing, going off 12 times a day while you're cutting the turkey up. Misusing technology on top of that. Oh, my blood is fucking boiling, people. My blood is fucking boiling. It really angers me as such. Buy shit throughout the year or just shop online. Why do you think so many stores are closing? Well, really the main reason is online shopping. And then people have the nerve to fucking complain, my favorite store is closing, or they closed already. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. But I don't have any problem with that at all. What are they putting up there? High-rise luxury apartments. They're not high-rise. They're like 6 stories or 8 stories, something like that. They're putting those up, and all the millennials gobble that shit up because they have the money a month to pay it, which is like a fucking mortgage payment for me. They have the money to pay that every month, but they don't have, because they can't fucking save a dime, because they're always going to Starbucks and buying avocado toast. Okay, they don't have money for a down payment on a house. And then, God forbid, they could afford the mortgage plus the taxes, especially here on Long Island. Piss poor planning is what does it, people. Piss poor planning. When I worked at the Wiz, I would I would give myself an allowance of $20. That's it. $20. Now, sure, this was 20 years ago, so $20 went a lot farther than it went today, but even so, an allowance of $20, the rest went in the bank. And I bought a house. Even the whiff said to me, "Where did you get that money?" I said, because all of the money I made while I was working went in the bank. I didn't buy shit. I didn't pay for shit. I didn't eat lunch. Nothing. Nothing. I would starve all day. Now I don't have to, so I got fat. You know, it was like that. That's how it went. I scrimped and saved on everything. I see a penny on the ground, I pick it up. I don't worry about this heads up, good luck bullshit. Nope. Penny's a penny, and I'm 1 cent richer, and you could shove it. Because that penny can avoid breaking another dollar, because then when you get change, you get that big change container that you never spend. And I have a big change container. Let me tell you. One day, I will go and spend some of that change on a coin sorter thingy, a nice one, and then I can reap the benefits of the money I have. And just to show you, I can't even lift this thing anymore. This is fashioned after a glass Coke bottle, and then you have your slot for the coins on top there, and look how full that's gotten. I have glass jugs back at my parents' house filled with pennies. My dad would actually give me pennies, believe it or not. He would give me pennies. Never gave them to my sister, but he gave them to me. So that was kind of a nice thing. And I never rolled them. They're actually still there. But hey, you could take all of that loose change you have and spend the time to roll it up. Or if you're foolish, you can go to something like a Coinstar machine and they take, I think last I checked, like 11%. That's $11 out of $100. Out of $700, which you very well might have, which is not money to sneeze at. That's $77. That's $77. That's a huge, huge hit. Now you only get $633. I bet you could have used that $77. It'd sure pay for your fucking Starbucks for a week. Yep. So don't fall into the trap of shopping in December. At least in stores. If you're going to do it online, that's one thing. But when you buy shit, make sure that you have the money to pay for it. Because there's nothing like paying 18% on a VCR that you bought in 1997 because your name is Mr. Reyes, because you're only paying the minimum. Don't do it. Spend the money you have, set a budget, an allowance, whatever you want to call it, set an amount for certain people, and remember, there's going to be overages. I'm going to spend $50 on my brother. I'm going to spend $50 on my sister. It ends up being $60. There's going to have to be allowance for that. But you can't say I'm spending $50, but oh, I found this really nice thing and it was only $85. No, that's well overstepping your boundaries there. Shop smartly and shop online and let everybody else get into car accidents, because that's the last thing you need with this Black Friday and Christmas shopping bullshit. Is somebody running a red light because they had to get in the mall and T-boning you, totaling your fucking car when you already have $700 worth of shit because you were out shopping and your brand new 70-inch TV gets smashed. The store ain't taking that shit back, and you'd be hard-pressed to have your insurance company cover that. Not a smart way to do it. Shop online. Fuck the retail stores. And I understand sometimes that you have to go in there and physically look at a product, but you're going to have to just hope for the best with certain things and take advantage of free returns. And if there's not free returns, don't shop from that company online. And don't pay for shipping, especially this time of year. Especially this time of year, don't pay for shipping. Most places have like $50 free shipping or even $25 free shipping. Yeah, do that. Stupid otherwise. Let the Amazon dicks get into accidents. Let them do it. Because they're going to have to replace your product and fucking deliver it. Simple as that. Do it smartly. And we didn't have these luxuries years ago. But I swear to God, if I hear all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth again, I'm going to do a Jesse Ladner and start smashing my TVs. He's never going to watch a video this long because he has the attention span of a goldfish. Oh, hey Jesse, how you doing? Anyways, I do thank you. It's been a long time since I did an old war story, and that's why I hate Christmas music. Because it was like Chinese water torture, drilled into me all because of mismanaged stores and the limited supply of Christmas songs that are to go around. But listen, like I said, if one comes on that you rarely ever hear, I'm game. I'm down. Trees up, trees lit, stuff's cooking, smells good, it's holidays, everybody's getting gifts. Hey, it's a wonderful fucking thing. A wonderful fucking thing. I understand that. I really do. I really, really do. Ah, man, oh man. Don't buy shit you don't need. And don't buy a pity gift for people. I'll show you one quick and then we'll end this. See this ring with that vial inside? This is a stupid thing that my mother gave me. I don't know if it was for a holiday or what it was or even how long ago it was. In the vial is vanilla scented, something like an essential oil, I guess. And this is quite outdated, so it's a rare piece. And the blackening is because of the heat involved. You would set this atop an incandescent bulb, something like that. And then when the lamp is on, the oil would start evaporating into the air and everything would be vanilla scented. Do I really need a vanilla scented ring to go on an incandescent bulb? Can't even use those today with LEDs because, of course, we all know they don't get hot. But, okay, yeah, they get hot, but they don't necessarily get as hot as an incandescent bulb. If anybody remembers, especially you old-timers, you know, older than like 8, if an incandescent bulb burned out and you say, oh, shit, I got to replace that right away, and you go and you grab one and you go to take the bulb out and you go, ah, damn it! And you burn your hand, you burn your fingers because the bulb is so hot. Yeah, they would get hot. That's a useless gift now. Not for me, because I have a lot of incandescents, of course, but even so, do you really need a vanilla-scented ring diffuser for a light bulb? Nobody needs that shit. Nobody needs that shit. If you don't know what to buy somebody, give them a nice card and a gift card, because the gift of money will get them what they want. It will get them what they want. And that way, especially if you give them like an Amazon gift card, they're forced to shop online. Huh. See, it's almost a vicious cycle now where the stores are going out of business. You all did it to yourselves. But that's all right because it was bullshit in the time that I had to bear that. Because back even in like 2007, 8, 9, even 2010, online shopping was nothing like what it is today. You could find fucking anything online. Only in stores. Save you $20. Don't go shopping. And don't fall for this bullshit. I told you it was going to be Grinchy in the Thanksgiving video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't hate. It's a condition now. Here's my umbrella. Hit like, hit subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time with a very special video. Something you would never expect. Coming up on Thursday. Because I'm posting this on Tuesday. Stay tuned.